Hey, welcome to Trapping Inc. I'm Rich Mellon. Today I have a very special guest here. Is Morley Smith, and Morley is probably the biggest wolf trapper I know of. And Morley? How many wolves have you got in your career?
In the last 15 winters, 387 wolves I got.
387.
And then I caught so far 7 all black ones this year.
Oh
I have a
man,
lot less wolves. I cleaned them out on my line. But they'll be coming back in. I'll be getting more later on here.
that's what the biologists tell us, is that if the habitat is right, it's never empty. There's always wolves.
That's right.
Yeah.
You clean them out some. They come in and stuff, and you work at her. And
I don't know how many wolves I got here. I mean, you're going to have to tell me. It seems to me sometimes I got lots of wolves and sometimes I got very few. What are you looking for today? We're going to set up snares.
Right. We're going to set up snares, and the basic thing what I look for is thicker bush to put your snares in. Off a draw going into a lake or creeks, you put your baits down on the ice or just in the grass by it. And what you do is try to pick the thicker places to set your snares in the bush.
Okay.
If you get areas that are open, so you just have to try to put some lean-tos of trees and set your snares and stuff. But what you do is you put bait there and you bring a chunk of bait inside the bush, a little chunk, but 90% of your bait should be down at the bottom of the hill in the ice.
Okay. So now that a lot of people are getting confused about this, why is the snares going to be so far from the bait?
Because what wolves do, they're like dogs. They go for the bait, they snoop around, they start scrapping with each other, they circle in the bush.
Oh, okay.
They circle in the bush, and usually the dominant wolf will be the head wolf that's going to be at the bait. So what happens is the other ones start circling the bush, make their circles. Sometimes the dominant wolf will make the circle to check it out in the bush. If you get the dominant wolf, if there's 8 in that pack, you could clean house.
You can get them all because they won't leave the dominant wolf.
That they keep coming back. They run around some, keep coming back.
So what I'm hearing here is you're talking wolf language. You understand how those wolves tick, and that's what I always say is that what is so important is anytime I can do a tip or a technique that takes advantage of the animal's habits, that's the closest you ever come to talking to an animal. Trapping is the cornerstone that Canada was built on. Brave and sometimes crazy men and women, fueled by the lucrative fur trade, explored and mapped our great nation. Hundreds of years have passed since then, but trapping still remains vibrant, strong, and steeped in the ancient traditions. The fur bearers still follow the old paths and live as dictated by thousands of years of instinct. Fur only gets prime in the harsh temperatures of winter, and trappers must respect and prepare for the weather. Trapping's past is firmly rooted in history, but today, the gear and techniques have changed. Canada is still known for the best wild fur in the world, and today our pelts are sold on the global market. Our community is large, and our numbers are growing. We are trappers. This is what we do, and where we belong. Join us in our adventures. Welcome to Trapping Inc., the face of today's trapper. You have a snare here. This is what you like to use. Tell us about your snare.
It's a 1/8 snare, 1/8 lock. This is a 9-foot snare. You can make some a little longer in case of a reach of a tree.
Okay.
Or you could use tie wire. Make sure you use enough wraps of tie wire for they don't break it. You set this snare, you put it around the tree, set it up about this size, nice and circle like that. I have a little tie wire here, which is 26 gauge wire, works really good. So I'll get you to hold this in here, just like say
I get to be the tree.
You get to be the tree. Yeah. So this is tied up to a limb of another tree, and this can be, don't matter if it has to be a foot or 2 feet that you got to reach.
This is your whole support system here then. You don't have a bunch of 9-wire or anything out here holding it.
Showing. Less you can show, you just natural here. You see how nice the loop is?
This is just wide open so that it just takes a very...
Just touch it.
Yeah. And then you're telling me that it's really important how fast they fall?
Yes. Different, a little bit different locks. Smoother lock works better for dropping faster.
Okay.
A little bit, and then the teeth, but I use them both myself, so.
So when you're in at the store buying them, you should take a lock and you should take your wire and see how easy they slide, because not everything's the same.
Good point, yes.
Okay.
Make sure that it has it, and when you drop it, it just bang like that on them. So what it is, 98% of your wolves. Walking into a snare, wolf, a lot of people tell me, oh, how you catch these wolves? They back out of mine.
Okay.
Well, mine, when they touch here, if this snare is being set here, it's the idea is for their chest. They're already their head, their chest touching it. The snares bang on them, just bang, slides, eh?
So what you're saying is it's not how important how big the snare is, just as long as the height is right so it hits his chest and then it falls on him.
Right, but in a tighter place, your snare is obviously going to be a little tighter.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the bushes, which is good.
Okay.
Bigger rooms where you can make it bigger because a wolf of their eyes are seeing more room like this is better.
Okay.
Because if it's tight, he's edgy to already sticking his head in it.
Okay.
He backs away and turns.
Trapping Inc. is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Helford's, unique beyond compare. HelfordsMailOrder.com. Belial Traps, first in the forest. BelialTrap.com. And by Alberta Outdoorsman Magazine, Alberta's only hunting, fishing, and trapping magazine.
Alfred's new showroom is now open and the shelves are full. We have all the gear you need for the upcoming season, and it's all in stock now. Snaring coyotes? We got you covered. We have pre-made snares for free hanging and power rams, snare making kits, as well as swagers, ferrules, cables, and locks to make your own snares. We have pallets of snare cable of every size and type. We have support wire and tie wire. We have certified body grips by all the major manufacturers in all sizes and applications, as well as setters and safeties and trap boxes and trap supports and trap dies and treatments. If footholding is your game, we have exactly the foothold traps you need in every brand and size, from muskrat to wolf. For fur put up, we have a huge selection of skinning knives, both flat and round fleshing beams, and forming boards, and the best fleshing tools available. Halfords has got you covered, no matter what your species. Demand has been huge for years, so you better come in before the best selection is gone. Halfords, built on the traditions of honesty, integrity, and service.
Hey, Rich, what we're going to do here is we're going to set a little bit of bait here. We're going to go down to the right here. There's a creek down at the bottom, and we're going to make sets through the bush here between here and the creek, and we're going to drag some bait and put down in the creek down here. It's about 200 yards, the creeks, and hopefully we can kind of make a small wolf station here. It's a little bit open, but we're still going to go for it.
Organization is so important, isn't it?
Yes, and another thing, Rich, is handle and snares. You don't want to be using your gloves or your handle and gas or your bait for your martins and fishers.
And you look at me when you say that.
Yeah.
You were just commenting how you could smell my gloves all the way riding around in the Argo.
Giving us away here. Yeah. But right now I'm just going to take a bunch of your snares here and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Put them in my little pouch here, it'd be a little easier packing down there. 10, 11. We'll take a dozen for now.
Okay.
I always kind of use bare hand setting too. And I use these white gloves handling the snares. My big fur nits here are good. What I'm going to grab right now is rough gloves, and we're going to drag a little bit down there. Some bait, okay?
Okay.
This stuff can just stay on the trail here.
That acts as an attention grabber, right? They're traveling down the trail, they see that, and all of a sudden
Yes.
something's going on around here?
And yes, and we try to keep the ravens, this bait is going to go down on the ice, and we'll keep the ravens from not hitting our snares landing inside. We put some bait here, we put some there. We're going to drag bait, so the scent is on the ground, they're going to follow. Get them working between
Gotcha.
stuff.
So it's just hanging off that little tiny wire there.
Yeah, don't fold it right in.
Okay.
Just have it about that angle. When he hits it, the chest hits it, bang. This one here, I'm just going to go here because the limb is bending down some, I see. So you have to watch that. If your limb's bend down, you got to think sometimes snow falls on it, it can drop your snare inch or two. See how tricky it is?
Oh,
It
yeah.
goes like nothing, right? 100%. That's what we want. They don't have to be as steep a slope as this, Rich, because they're looking down at that bait and they're seeing what's going on there, what's there. They're trying to figure that out. And they're looking over these snares as they're going down. They're focused too much ahead, above them.
Oh, I see. It's
And
not,
they bang.
it's like
they hit.
when a snare is on level ground, he sees it coming for a long ways.
Yes, but down off the slopes, for some reason, I have very good luck. It's
Ah.
and in my mind, I'm thinking that they're overseeing. They're seeing what's going with the ravens and the bait on the ice and down at the bottom there. It don't have to be on ice. It could be just.
The lines of that snare
Over.
don't show up. They don't run into
Right.
it for a long ways.
And now for Halford's Trapper's Tip of the Week.
Making Morley's favorite wolf snare is extremely easy. He starts with 9 or 10 foot piece of 1/8 cable and 7x7, so it's nice and soft and falls easy. We start by putting the loop on the tag end where we're going to anchor to the tree. Now remember that you've got to pass your whole snare through here, so don't make this too small. Then we take and put on our cam lock. Slide it together. And here again, there's a tendency to want to make this a nice and tight loop. Don't make it too tight. You want to have a little bit of play there so that your cam lock can move back and forth on it. Nice and tight down like that. Now we just need to boil them and take a little color off them. In here I got a nice mixture of wild mint, which grows all over my place. I got in some spruce, I got in some Cambrian layer of birch, just to add some color, and man, is it ever adding color. Baking soda to knock the shine off, give them a good boil, and then out to the woods they go. You know, it doesn't actually smell bad at all. I'm thinking I better not tell Sandy what I did with her turkey cooking pot, huh?
That was Halford's Trapper's Tip of the Week.
I said in here because if they run like kind of, you see this sort of an old trail here.
Yeah.
They run into here. You see, there's a snare right there.
Yeah, I see her, you betcha.
And what we're going to do is make some, now going all the ways back to the Argo through here.
Okay.
For 200 yards, try to find some spots, zigzag through, and
There's one spot here, you're gonna have to tell me if I'm stupid or not, but it's a nice spot, but you'd be putting it right on the main trail. So if the snare made them shy off, would you put one in a nice spot right next to it?
yes, It might even be a way to trick them to turn them, and
That's
you
what I
get
was
them in
thinking.
the second one. Yes. Yeah.
I've been drinking enough coffee with you now. I'm starting to think the right way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So there's a lot of times I set a snare. Just say I set a snare like this, and this is a little bit shaded good. So let's say if we had a snare here, the wolves were coming through there, and there's this kind of snare. He heads are over that way. Doesn't even know if the snare's there, and you have them.
So that's simple. That's straightforward. What
Straight-
kind of height are you looking at the bottom of your snare at?
Right now, right now we're about 14 inches, 13 on this one.
Yeah.
The reason we're a hair lower on here, you could even go a foot, because naturally the wolf's going to come in here and he's going to duck a little bit because it's filled in here lots.
Gotcha.
You know, he's not going to have his head hitting here. He's going to...
So once again,
Say
you play the animal. Like you understand what the animal's doing and adjust.
Yeah. So you can see on my leg it's about 2 inches and then ordinary what I have lower.
Okay.
But the reason why is because of the limbs being hung over and he has to go underneath a little more.
Okay.
So you can turn this way and see how I put the tree across to just help to hold your little snare.
Oh, yeah.
Hold it up. Because a lot of people say, oh, well, how come so high your snares are? Well, a wolf stands pretty high.
Yeah.
You want their chest to hit right here. Right? When the wolf comes, his head is open, he's going in. You want his chest to hit here, that snare's bang on top of him.
Exactly. Okay.
You have them, hey?
Yep. Looks like, oh, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, we got a wolf. We got a wolf. Look at that. Oh, wait, we had a couple snares here. Well, here's one. This is the one that we took the coyote in earlier. There we go. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. I think I've got at least one more here because I've got a snare and a pole missing there, but beauty. Big, well, I don't know, not big. I don't know, maybe 80 pound, 70, 80 pounds. Let's see. What do we got? Yeah, see this tree got ripped up and that. I'm betting that one that's on the snare come this way. I got another snare over here. Morley's idea was with the bait down there, the wolves would come up and circle everything, circle up on the hill like this, right? And this is where we'd catch them. And there's another one. We got two. We got two. Look at that. Morley had one here on this game trail. Oh yeah. Holy. Ah, they're big, big wolves. Once again, they look big. Oh my. He's gonna weigh a bit anyway. Holy. Coming good. He didn't last very long here. Okay, so that's two. I got a missing snare on a drag pole. What size is that, Paul? Which would mean three. We could be in for a circus. There's two more over here on the side hill. There was our main drag trail down. The one down there is still there. There's another! There's the third one! Right there! Right there! This is a much younger one. Much younger. Much smaller, but all the same. Three wolves. Okay. There's the first one. guessing I better go find this other one.
Trapping Inc. is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Argo UTV, any season, any terrain. ArgoUTV.com. Puma Knives, knife maker to the world since 1786. And by Carl Zeiss Sport Optics, we make it visible. Gentech-intl.com.
Alfred's new showroom is now open and the shelves are full. We have all the gear you need for the upcoming season, and it's all in stock now. Snaring coyotes? We got you covered. We have pre-made snares for free hanging and power rams, snare making kits, as well as swagers, ferrules, cables, and locks to make your own snares. We have pallets of snare cable of every size and type. We have support wire and tie wire. We have certified body grips by all the major manufacturers in all sizes and applications, as well as setters and safeties and trap boxes and trap supports and trap dies and treatments. If footholding is your game, we have exactly the foothold traps you need in every brand and size, from muskrat to wolf. For fur put up, we have a huge selection of skinning knives, both flat and round fleshing beams, and forming boards, and the best fleshing tools available. Halford's has got you covered, no matter what your species. Demand has been huge for years, so you better come in before the best selection is gone. Halford's, built on the traditions of honesty, integrity, and service.
Okay. There's a skid trail going. Let's see where the pole's getting drug. I hope he doesn't stick to the creek. He can make a lot of miles. A lot of miles. Pole dragging. Trail here. I can't believe you got very far in this stick with a drag pole on. Oh, there he is, right there. Oh, no country for old men. That's a lot of work for an old guy. I don't know, there must be between a bunch of them 280 pounds I got up here. It happened just like Morley said it would. He understands wolves, and that's the cool part about the really successful trappers, is they can talk to the animal that they are targeting. And he knew exactly what would go on here. Even though there wasn't a lot of bait or anything left, the fact that there was a stain there and some stink bait that I'd spread around, and you can see where they dug on the ice in that fort, it was in their territory, so they had to check it out. And that's just about as good as feeding them. They did exactly what he said they would do, and it was fascinating that he put 7 snares in, and we got 4 of them in 4 out of 7 we had wolves in. And I imagine if there had been more wolves there, he'd have filled them all. Thank you, Morley. You're one heck of a wolfer. Now you create a lot of work for me. I really hope you enjoyed today's show, and we'll see you out on the line.
You can keep up with all the action at trappinginc.com or join our Facebook and YouTube sites.